Aloura, A Journey of Dimensions. Book 1, Prologue, A Twist of Fate. In the vast tapestry of existence, dimensions intermingled like threads entwined in a grand design, each pulsating with unique vibrancy and narratives. This was the domain of Magora, the weaver of destinies. Nestled before her ancient loom, she glided her fingers over the golden threads, skillfully crafting the fates that would one day define the lives within those parallel worlds. Yet today, a sense of foreboding enveloped the loom, a disastrous snag revealing an errant thread, one that surged forward but belonged nowhere in the intricate weave. Years passed in a moment laced with youthful exuberance. She had ventured to change the course of fate, swapping the destinies of two lives, two children identical but belonging to different worlds, different dimensions of their own reality. Magora thought herself benevolent in her choice, believing she could alter the path of sorrow into one rich with hope. But the consequence of this switch was a heavy burden now descending upon her, a realization of the chaos birthed from her hubris. In the fabric of reality, Diran and Lavinia currently occupied intertwined threads. Their fates danced in an eternal cycle of life and death. The imminence of Diran's childbirth pulsed like a beating heart, while the shadow of death loomed ever closer around Lavinia. It was a rhythm as old as existence itself, life blooming, only to eventually fade into the ether, marking the incessant passage of time. At this moment, as Magora studied the unnaturally tangled threads, the weight of inevitability felt unbearable. For what she had done could well be the end of everything if she didn't fix the error before passing into her next phase. Magora closed her eyes, enveloped in whispers carried by the winds of time. The fabric around her exhaled centuries of secrets, weaving tales of rebirth interlaced with regret. She understood that these threads were meant to follow their destined paths she had now strayed from. The urgency surged within her, and with a flicker of determination igniting her spirit, she resolved to set things right, to return the threads of each child now grown to their rightful order before the world turned anew, before the cyclical dance of life and death resumed. Restoring the delicate weave of fate would not be an easy endeavor. Magora recognized the sacrifices this mission would demand, including the surrender of her own desires. Threads cut from the loom often frayed lives, but they also opened possibilities for fresh beginnings. It was a harsh truth, yet one a weaver must accept to ensure the survival of those intertwined in the cosmic dance of destiny. She prepared for the challenge with a heavy heart, focused and resolute, wanting nothing more than the harmony of existence restored. The atmosphere thickened with anticipation. It felt as if the very fabric of reality held its breath. It was at that moment Diran's voice, soft yet laced with urgency, broke through the silence. "Mother, I think it's almost time. The child is stirring," she called. The sound sliced through the tension like a ray of light piercing through a storm. As Magora glanced at her hands, once full of youthful vigor, now etched with the markings of time, she felt the golden thread tugging insistently, reminding her of her role in this theatrical unfolding. The urgency escalated, not merely to disentangle the lives of these two twins, but to unearth a deeper truth veiled within the alluring fabric of reality. Diran, Magora's beautiful daughter radiant with expectation, symbolized the promise of incoming life. Simultaneously, Lavinia lingered close to the precipice of her earthly journey, an embodiment of age and wisdom, teetering between vitality and the inevitable embrace of death. The tapestry's rhythm quickened, and Magora felt the weight of this crucial moment beckoning her. The threads held stories of joy and sorrow, hopes intertwined with fears, all clamoring for resolution. But resolution that had been tampered with by her own hubris now needed to be corrected before the job became that of her daughters. This choice was Magora's, and wouldn't be left to affect Diran or her child as they each took their new place in the weaving of the universe. "You must listen closely," Magora breathed, her voice steady yet soft as she turned toward the loom, her fingers weaving intricate patterns in the golden threads before her. She conjured the memories of her earlier choices, not just duplicate threads, but living tales with emotions, laughter, and aching grief. There was a truth lurking there, a glimmer of understanding she had yet to grasp fully. With the loom having sung her ancestors' memories, she dedicated herself to mending the frayed and tangled tapestry that was now the interconnected lives of so many. Her fingers danced with precision and grace, coaxing the errant threads to rejoin their rightful paths. She was acutely aware that this was more than mere manipulation of threads. It was the essence of compassion, the careful balancing of two souls whose lives had converged at this pivotal juncture. Through the delicate work of her hands, Megara felt the pulse of history entwined with her intentions. The stories of past generations resounded in her heart, urging her forward with their wisdom. As she finally separated the errant thread from the entangled weave, the air shimmered with palpable energy, signaling the beginning of a shift in destinies. Her heart quickened in sync with the loom's rhythm as she sensed a new reality taking shape. With each calculated twist and turn, she focused on weaving a new path, a future where Darren's child would thrive, and Lavinia freed from the burdens that had chained her for too long. In this moment, the loom transformed from a physical object to a conduit for creation, a vessel through which hope arose anew. "Let fate be restored," Megara whispered, a prayer that reverberated in the air. The golden threads seemed to glow under her touch, swirling around her as if they knew the stakes of her endeavor. She poured her hopes into each strand, dreaming of harmony and balance, of lives intertwined yet distinctly their own. At long last, the loom stilled, the last thread settling into place, a perfect alignment of purpose and fate intertwining seamlessly. The sensation of peace washed over her, quelling the torrent of emotions that had overwhelmed her moments before. Megara stepped back, allowing herself to behold the intricate tapestry she had rewoven with care. The whispers of the past faded, replaced by a tranquil silence, an indication that her task was complete. Duran, teetering on the threshold of motherhood, felt a surge of energy. Lavinia, drawn back from the brink of despair, smiled serenely as if liberated from years weighed down with unfulfilled wishes. "Mother, it's time!" Duran cried once more, the exuberance within her rupturing forth, infusing the air with joy. Megara turned to face her daughter, tears sparkling like dew upon sunrise. "Yes, dear one, it's time indeed." Compassion flourished within her heart, mingling with gratitude for the lessons learned through trials and choices. Now, Megara understood that fate was not about control but about understanding, a mastery of empathy that allowed one to appreciate the intricate dance of life and death. The cycle continued, reborn into new potential. With renewed conviction in her heart, she grasped the loom, ready to usher in the next chapter while embracing the rhythm of time once more. For every ending was a beginning, a reminder that the threads of existence forever wove on, a glorious tapestry demanding to be cherished.